All right, why not? All right, cool. All right, guys. Welcome to the relationship webinar. We are very excited for you guys.
Definitely the first time we're doing this, by the way.
Yes, I know, but we're gonna pretend like it is for the recording. All right, so everyone get out a pen and paper. I really want you guys to take some notes. Participation is key. And there's gonna be designated times to ask questions. So go ahead and just jot down any questions that you have, or you can put them in the chat and Anna here is gonna write them down and we'll answer them at the designated times, okay? All right, so first things first. Before Jared and I are very much on the same page. I feel like when it comes to our trajectory of dating. We met, we were in our early 20s. We were both fucking wild and crazy partiers. We loved the life. We loved the lifestyle. And then about a year and a half ago, both of us kind of were like, I think we were at the retreat and we're like, fuck, like we really want to find somebody. And both of us were kind of like on this mission to like, okay, let's maybe try this whole like quote unquote settling down thing a try, right? And before I was under the impression that, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to casually date around. And if I find a guy that I just happens, to give me that spark, I'll go ahead and beeline for him, right? Tunnel vision on him. But what we found is that a lot of what happened is that those relationships didn't end up going anywhere. I ended up wasting more time with guys that were not fulfilling the qualities that I wanted in a life partner, right? And so it's this idea of shifting. If you want a girlfriend in the next 12 months, you guys, if you want a girlfriend in the next year.
Yes. Honestly, with this shit that we're going to be giving you, 6 months. I'd be surprised longer than 6.
So if you want a girlfriend in the next 6 months, you guys, it first starts with a mental shift. You are no longer casually dating. That's over. We're going to throw that out. You are now intentionally dating. You are going to intentionally attract the people, the women that you want to attract as a girlfriend, as a life partner, as a wife, as a future mother of your children, right? Because we all live our lives based on, a lot of people live our lives based off of what we expect from people, and oftentimes leading to disappointment. But if you start leading with intention instead of expectation, things begin to align. Because now it's very clear of what you are looking for, and therefore you are weeding everything out, all the noise out. Jared,
this was the main difference. Honestly, if nothing else you're going to get from this, understand this. The whole illusion of, oh, you know what? If I get abundance, I get enough girls in a pipeline, I'll just find one that I like and it'll naturally happen. I don't run into it because I'm dating so many girls and I'm so good. I'm telling you guys, even at my level with 1 million girls in the pipeline, with doing this stuff, with all the abundance, you can really, I almost lost Anna from it. You can really lose an amazing thing if you don't have that intention, because you haven't trained your reticular activation system to zone in on exactly what you do want. If all you're doing is building up a habit of acting like a fuckboy, being a fuckboy, hooking up with random girls, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you think doing that's going to get you a relationship, you're very sorely mistaken. Once you put your focus in the right place and you go, hey, this is what I want, not selling for anything else, I'm looking for it. It's like having a purpose, right? It's like you're Alice in Wonderland thing. If you don't know where you're going, anyone will take you there. You have to actually come up with the intention of it. That's why, for example, this retreat we're doing in Mexico is going to be so fucking good and vital, because what it's going to do, it's going to recenter you and repurpose you so that, number one, you know what you actually want.
Yes.
Gives you a shift so you know what it is, and then you can go at it with proper intention versus feeling like a leaf in the wind. Whatever's going to happen, you don't really know where you're going. But whether you're coming to a retreat or not, you need to dial in that I am dating for a specific goal, a specific mind. I think that's just maybe for men and women, but definitely that's how men are wired to operate and what we need to do. So,
right. Okay, so in the chat, you guys, I want to see what you think your current biggest challenge is when it comes to attracting your dream girl. What you think it is. So do a little bit of self-reflection and put it in the chat. So Adam says keeping her. Yes. Inner game. Yes. These are all stuff we're going to go over. I'm excited. I attract the crazies and they like to cheat. Okay, we're also going to talk about cheating. Well, actually, I think that's day 2 now that I think about it. But either way, we have
Either way, you're gonna get all of it. So a lot of it out with keeping her, right? So what's the funny thing? You know, you're saying keeper, keeper, keeper. What's funny is in order to attract her, the way to keep her is to never stop that process.
Mm-hmm. A lot of men, they make the mistake of, okay, once I have the girl, I don't have to continue to try.
Right.
Right. And a lot of guys I hear like, oh, I want a girlfriend, even though they've never really experienced abundance. They've never really gone on a lot of dates. And the reality is that the only reason why they want a girlfriend is just because they want it to be easy. They want a girl just so they can have text, that they can have sex with, that they can go on dates with and just call it a day. Right. Whereas being intentional is you are growing with someone. That is what women are interested in. We are not just interested in being someone's girlfriend. We are interested in being someone's partner. And that growth is a thing that continues and maintains attraction. You want to talk about this one, Jared?
So we talk about intention. Hopefully you understand how important this is. The second thing you need is clarity. Now, clarity can just be very simple. I want this. I don't want this. I know what I'm looking for, right? But we took it a step further by breaking down a relationship trait spreadsheet that shows you, makes it clear as fucking day what it is you actually want. And now you don't have to be guessing, should I be with her? Is she the one? I don't know, whatever. You get a very sure, I've been in a lot of relationships. I've never been one to ever quote or be part of that quote of like, when you know, you know. This is maybe the first time with Anna where it's like, when you know, you know. I always thought it was this weird lovey-dovey thing. I'm like, it's cute, it's a cliche, it's a thing, but I never really experienced it, so therefore I didn't believe it actually existed or I questioned it until this happened where I'm like, oh my God, she checks all the boxes. This is literally, yeah, I know. Like, this is it. This is what I want. And you guys should have that same clarity.
And this is really good for all of my logical guys in the room, right? Is it takes all the guesswork out of it. Right? Because I don't want you to rely off of a feeling that she's the one, because feelings can come and go, as we know. I want you to know for sure, with no shadow of a doubt, that this girl checks all your boxes and what those boxes actually are. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today and this weekend is really 3 parts. How do I find her? How do I attract her? And how do I keep her? Right? Go ahead and click 3. So in my opinion, it all comes down to how you attract a girl is really 3 things. It's developing a strong sense of self through modeling, which, Jared, do you want to talk about modeling?
Yeah, so modeling is the #1 thing that Tony Robbins attributes his success to. Every successful person in the world models themselves after somebody who's further ahead of them than they are. Even my idol now, my new current boyfriend, it used to be Ryan Reynolds, but now I might be cheating at him with Alex Hormozy. My little boo, Alex Hormozy, even talks about modeling people very unexpected. What's that billionaire Kardashian? Kylie Jenner?
Kylie Jenner.
So Kylie Jenner, he's like, she became a billionaire, and that awoke him. He's like, well, I always model myself after people more successful than me, especially with business. They have something I don't know. They know something I don't know. And that's where it made him realize, I need a brand. Holy shit, I need a brand. That's what's going to do it. And that's what she has. And he respects her. He's like, fuck, this little kid, this Kardashian Jenner kid, you know? But anyway, I got off point. The point is, you always want to model somebody who's further ahead of you. So how does that make you find yourself? There's a second form of modeling as well, which is you visualizing your future self and modeling after that. And the only way to find that person is to try on different behaviors, mannerisms, personalities, ways of thinking, whatever, almost like you would a pair of jeans or clothes that you're trying on. The idea of trying out different stuff that you're modeling and seeing from others, people further ahead, allows you to figure out what exactly you want to be trying on that does feel like you. It is you. It feels good. And it also works. Because right now, your strong sense of self might be something that's toxic, might be something that's hurting you, might be something that is turning women away. And you could say, but it's me, it's genuine. It doesn't matter if it's not working. Maybe that's part of you should give up. You know, like the father who genuinely beats his son because that's him, maybe that shouldn't be him, right? Maybe we should give some of this shit up, right? So through modeling, trying on different things like different shirts, different clothing, you get new perspectives, new perceptions, and ultimately that's how you develop a strong sense of self, the best version of you, not just a version of you.
Yes. And then owning it. So owning it is once you've developed who you are by modeling, by being authentic, by self-reflection, own it. So not allowing other people to dictate your value, right? So this is a huge thing, especially for all my nice guys out there, right? We're covering nice guys. Is so many of these guys, and also girls too, like the female version is people pleaser. Like, you know, there's lots of us out there. We put our value.
This is the guy that you're telling.
Oh, so what we do is we put our value off of someone else's approval. We seek approval and we avoid disapproval. So owning it, by the act of owning it, is now you are protecting yourself in a shell. You're not allowing others to dictate your self-worth for you, right? And that comes off as non-neediness. And non-neediness is a thing that is going to attract high-value women. If you want to move on. And then the last thing is patience, you guys, patience, right? So when it comes to this, listen, most relationships aren't going to work out, right? Because you're finding the one. And by doing this correctly, you should have abundance beforehand. Because in every other industry and every other thing, we're taught to try everything to see what we like, to see what we not like. Why not apply that same logic to something as important as choosing a partner, right? So again, do not, I know everyone wants a girlfriend. That is the first step, but let's not rush it. Let's wait until we find the right person for you that's going to continue to make you happy.
Any questions on keeping her? Take my notes.
I love the freshness part. That's like, if you keep things fresh, that should be like pretty simple and find a way to keep her. Because it's like, you can make something very, like, say you love a woman that can cook and that's a requirement for you and she always cooks. You can keep things fresh by maybe surprising her with some surprise ingredients. Or maybe you cook tonight, or maybe you're like, hey, let's switch things up. I actually booked a nice dinner. Be ready by 8. And it's like, oh, it's a surprise. I don't know where we're going. Somewhere nice. Like, I don't know. That's just like the little things that you could do.
Right. Okay, so do you want to click again? I don't have my slides. Okay, so what is a high value woman, you guys? In the chat, I want you guys to type out qualities that you think make a high value woman versus a low value woman. And then I think you can click again. Jared, goddamn it. I was like, who wrote that? Take it seriously. All right. So every man values something a little different when it comes to their desires, right? So in what most guys want, right? Loyalty, respect, and physical attractiveness. Like that is like the 3 pillars of what men want. But that also is casting a really wide net, right? There's lots of loyal women. There's lots of women that respect their man. There's lots of women that are physically attractive, right? So what makes you want to, like what makes her the girl that you are seeking, right? So we're going to get specific on this. So the next one. All right. So I like her, but should I make her my girlfriend? So you meet a girl, you maybe go out with her once or twice, and it should be one of those things. Okay, do I want to invest in this? So
I do want to say on this one, it's left brain, right brain. The relationship trait spreadsheet is left brain. It's all the logical, analytical. I get it. I understand. This triangle right here are the emotional side, the right brain that should come up when you're making that decision. Because if a girl checks all the boxes and she can't do these simple 3 things for you emotionally, it doesn't matter. You're gonna be in this like, I got the perfect girl, but I'm dead inside. It's like, who cares? who cares? So that's why I like this Jamie's triangle.
Right. So this is the emotional aspect of it. So again, for me, I came up with this before I was even a dating coach because I was already kind of on this path. I didn't get obviously more fine-tuned until later, but this I came up with and I still believe in it to this day. 3 things: to think, to laugh, to smash. The first is to think. Does she challenge me? Do I challenge her? And I don't mean in a fighting way, but like to grow. It's an inner desire, a masculine desire to want to take care of someone, to grow with someone, right? Do we have intellectual conversations? Do we have deep conversations? Can we have tough conversations, right? What is our conflict resolution? All of that is to think. To laugh, do we have fun together? This is probably one of the most important things, because a lot of men that I've met through my coaching all these years, there's a handful of them that have been married for X amount of years to a woman, and then they divorce, and she's like, you know what? I don't really know why we even liked each other, right? I feel like she changed so much, when in reality, they didn't really have very much in common to begin with. So, and Jared and I were also going to talk about this, but like the idea of opposites attract is not true. You want to get a girl that's more compatible. You want to get a girl that has fun together the same. You want to get a girl that laughs at your jokes, that you laugh at hers, because this is what's said by my grandmother, is that when all the sexy stuff, when all the lust is gone, the friendship is going to be the thing that lasts. And I don't mean gone forever, but when it comes to the foundation, it needs to be a foundation of friendship, and to laugh is a huge part of that. And the third is to smash, right? All the sexy stuff. So do I look good for her? Does she look good for me? Are we sexually compatible? Right? Do I want to continue to look good for her? Does she want to continue to look good for me? All of those things. So again, you can have one of these things and maybe have a one-night stand, maybe hook up for a while. You can have 2 of these things, maybe have a friends with benefits situation, maybe date her for a minute. But to have 3 of these things, okay, that's my first little trigger point. And then we're going to take it to the next slide, where we're going to talk about the more logical side of determining whether or not she is fit to be your girlfriend.
So this kind of shows my own sheet here. It's separated into 4 segments. The first is the must-haves. I can honestly say Anna has all the must-haves. Because she didn't, there's no point of even thinking or trying or consideration. It's like the hard skills you need for the job. If this isn't here, what the fuck is the point? The second is the should-haves. Is it a deal breaker like the must-haves? No. But if you have enough should-haves missing, again, it's like kind of like, what's the point? Right? Because if it's one of those, and you can rank them too, like how important, a scale of 1 to 10. Now, arguably, you could say communication, compromise skills, whatever, in a relationship is like a 10. It's basically a must-have. But if she had every other thing on a check sheet and she didn't have that one thing, whatever. I could live without it. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, it's really important, but fuck it. Then there would be nice. Would be nice is exactly what it sounds like. It's not, is it a should have, if she doesn't have these, it's not a big deal. But if you're considering a girl who has all the must-haves, who has all the should-haves, the would be nice is the icing on the cake. Right? It's the extra, like, all right, this is why I would pick this girl over this girl. Ideally, you have a girl that checks out. I'm going to use Anna here. I think Anna pretty much is literally just 3 things from the would be nice that she doesn't have. She doesn't sing karaoke. She doesn't like spicy food, and she's a little too young. Besides that, I can honestly say she checks every single one of these boxes. So that is how you logically know, like, what the fuck am I doing? Of course, I need to jump on this. The interesting thing is any girl could have, I don't know, better fashion, more intelligent, be more stress-free, better kisser, cleans more, right? Any girl can be more of any one of these categories. And that's where a lot of guys emotionally make that decision. They go, especially when you're mad at your partner, like, oh, that girl's hotter or better. They look at one thing. But to find someone who literally can embody all these things you're looking for, good fucking luck. Right? That's where it's like, all right, I gotta not be stupid. I gotta realize all these things matter. And the final one is the can't-haves. Right? Like, you don't want a method. You don't want somebody judgmental. Hopefully, you don't want a narcissist. You gotta have certain things where, like, all right, this is a can't-have. This is a deal breaker. And when you're dating, you should be looking for, the first thing you should be looking for when you're dating is the must-haves and the can't-haves. Because if any of these are broken, it's a complete and utter waste of time. But once you see that, now we explore deeper into the should-haves. It would be nice. And from there, you can make a proper decision. So make a copy of this sheet. It takes 10 minutes. There's gonna be a link here. There's a link also in Coda for the guys in the VIP program. If you're watching this course right now to the recording, the sheet will be attached alongside the recording. You'll be getting both. It's all part of it.
Okay. So I want to talk about this. So the person you attract is a reflection of yourself. By a raise of hands, who's heard that before? Person you attract. All right. So, okay, I want to kind of break this down what that means. If you are not in a loving and nurturing relationship to yourself, you're going to attract a woman that isn't loving and nurturing to you, right? If you're unclear of who you are and what you want, you're going to attract a woman that's chaotic or unsure of what she wants. If you believe women today aren't worth it or provide true value, you will only accept women, or you only attract women who accept that low frame. So all of these, you really want to break this down and think, what can I bring to the table, right? How can I reflect a better, more idealized version of myself so I can start attracting the ideal woman for me? Do you want to add to that, Anna, Jared?
I like the attributes aspect of it.
Yeah. So for this, like, there's a lot of guys. I mean, especially what's going on right now with the fucking tape, the Red Bull, all this shit. They really devalue women, and now you're devaluing the relationship in and of itself, right? When you to the point where there's guys going off in like Europe or going off.
Passport bros.
What?
Passport bros, they're called.
Passport bros, yes. Trying to find a Ukrainian woman or whatever the fuck. The point is, they're not taking ownership of what they can do, and they're just looking at the problems, whatever, and it devalues the relationship as a whole. So you need to really focus on, like, for example, honestly, when I claim to fame, a lot of guys are like, wait a minute, you found a gorgeous, amazing girl in America, in South Florida, one of the hardest places to date, around Miami and shit. This dating coach lives in Bali or Mexico and is preaching, blah, blah, blah. The point is, when you have the right skill set, when you really dial this down, especially the way we're going to be teaching you, you don't need to be a fucking passport bro. That's ridiculous. You need to level up your skill set, what you can do. And I promise you, the women are there. Does that mean every girl's awesome and every girl's worth it? No. But likewise, it just means that when you're dialed in and you're looking for what you want and you bring out the best in them in that sense, they are worth it. When I met Anna, she was entrepreneurial, sure, but she was kind of like lost of how to go about it the right way, and she worked for a company.
I think our first date, we talked about business for like 3 hours.
Yeah. But so I saw the potential, right? Now, if she's just like, no, I just want to be a teacher, and that's all I do, and I'm a nurse, and da-da-da. Okay, it wasn't there, but I saw the potential was there. Fast forward, now, did you know who Russell Brunson was back then?
No.
Yeah, like, she has no idea about entrepreneurship as a whole, but I knew
I love Graham Stephan.
but she knew, but the interest was there. Just the other day, I'm seeing her cleaning, mopping the floor, and she's listening to something. I go, what are you listening to, babe? She was like, oh, I'm just listening to the audiobook Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. On her own, just listening to it. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud. Oh, this feels so nice. And it's like, it's going to come, but it's not going to just be there immediately right off the bat. If you find the right girl, she's going to grow with you, and you're going to grow with her and learn shit from her. I never thought I'd be into anime, honestly. I thought I was like, anime is stupid. This is too nerdy even for me. No, it's not. It's awesome. Naruto's better than Dragon Ball Z. I know everybody's going to hate me for that, but it's true. Anyway, we're getting on point. I believe in this. You have to just realize you have to really challenge a lot of your limiting beliefs in relationships and ask where it comes from. They only want my money. They only want, they only care. Women don't like sex. Like, there's so many fucking things that you really have to challenge and not take at face value because it's easy to believe this, or because you heard some other guy ranting about it. If it feels like it's pushing women away, chances are it is. That's what you say. Danny?
Nope, you did a great job. I mean, actually, I do want to, go back one. That third one right there, he kind of said it, but if your belief is that that women are only attracted to money, what you're going to do if you're attracted to a woman is you're going to flaunt your money. And then therefore it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The only types of women that are going to be into that are going to be ones that want money.
I said
right?
this last one. Thank God you reminded me of this because it was a great quote. I was watching a guy do a woman hating podcast, by the way, which I don't listen to. It just pops up on my fucking Instagram because of the nature of my business.
You're casually listening to Red Pill, no big deal. Anyway,
I see these Red Pill reels come up. This guy's a very popular podcast. I'm not going to shout him out or give him credit or whatever because I don't want to promote any of this. But he had this podcast. It was real, and I will say he made a very, very good point. The problem is he only made it towards the women. The reverse can also be true. And this is what he said to the girl. The girl's like, there are no good men. All you men want is sex. Men just want sex, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, is it the case? Do men just want sex? Or if pussy is the only thing you have of value, then pussy is all I want. And I was like, fuck, that's true. I was like, I did not want to agree with this guy, but I'm like, yeah. It's like telling the girl, like, yeah, if pussy's all you have, that is good. If you don't have anything else on my sheet, then guess what? That's all I want from you because you have nothing else to bring to the table. What he didn't bring up is the flip side of it. This is what women can say is, hey, if money is all you have, then money is all I want. If all you can do is flash cash, then guess what she's attracted to? Think about that, guys. Oh, this girl only wants money. How'd you get her? Well, I bought her an island. Well, then, okay, guess what? That's what she's attracted. That's all you're bringing to the table. That's all she sees. We had a friend, we're not going to say name, whatever, but we had a friend who bought this girl a Hermes necklace, who brought her on his private yacht, who took her to the Bahamas, who got her handbags, who I think actually offered her an island.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he
was
actually.
like, I will buy you anything and everything that you want. Just please be with me. She's like, I'm not interested.
To give you an idea, this guy's worth around 100 million.
Yeah.
If not 100 million, 80 million. It's like whatever. He could do it, and she turned him down because, and it must be hard for her because, like, God damn, I want all that shit, and she wanted, whatever. But even that didn't just seal the deal because. At the end of the day, from what she felt was that's all he had to offer, and she didn't want that in a real relationship. And because she's friends with us, she's not some bimbo girl who's like, I'll just take money and whatever. She's like, no, she's a real girl, wants a real relationship. So honor that and understand that when you're meeting women. If you have these limited beliefs where all women want is X, Y, Z, then that's what you're going to be expecting.
Okay, so if you're having difficulty sustaining loving relationships of others, the first place you have to look for it is at the relationship you have with yourself, you guys. Okay, so I want to kind of break this down, right? So if say you've done the relationship spreadsheet chart, right? You want an ambitious woman, you want one that is a desire to improve herself, self-improvement, growth, all that stuff. What is that going to give you? It's going to give you that you are secure that she is self-sufficient and that she's into being a power couple, right? What's in it for you? So how are you, here, Jared, click for me. There it is. How are you showing up for that trait yourself? Those are your intentions. So if the left side is desires and the right side is intentions, right? Let's focus on how you can show up for yourself to attract that girl that you're hoping to get. So again, if you want an ambitious woman that, has a desire to improve, how are you doing it? Well, I'm prioritizing my personal development. I hire coaches. I'm growing my business. Physically attractive, right? That's a big one. And I see this all the time. Guys I just want a hot girl. I want a hot girl. I want one that's a head turn, all this stuff. They don't go to the gym. They don't eat right. They don't look right. And they expect women to be dripping all over them. You can't do that. How are you showing up? What are you bringing to the table? Am I disciplined with my workout? Right? If you want a woman that is supportive, it's going to make you feel safe to be vulnerable, not judged, right? Well, how are you showing up for yourself in that manner? I'm patient with myself, even at my lows. I do not judge or talk down at myself, because what's going to happen is by you reflecting that, a high value girl that has that trait she's going to notice that in you and normalize that. And normalization is safety. People are attracted to that, right? Whatever is normal to them, whatever feels safe to them. Because again, women, what are our 3 pillars? Safety, security, humor. So in that, feeling safe in the relationship, that's going to be seeing traits that we resonate with. So again, focus on what you can bring. How can you better show up for yourself, for your future girl?
And I would go so far as to say this is not even for her. This is for you.
Yeah.
This is not modern. This is modern success and not modern flirting now for a reason. Right? Just as we want you guys to grow and evolve, we're constantly in a state of growing and evolving and getting better. And really, the core of why men want to get relationships, they want to get women, whatever, is because you want to see the best version of yourself. And your girl, whether you like it or not, is a reflection of that. She is. Guess what? If you let yourself go to shit and you eat bad and whatever, so will she. Even if she was hot. Let's say she's gorgeous. But you're a fat, stinking pile of manure. And all you want to do is stuff your face with Cheetos and fried Oreos and just drink beers and blah, blah, blah. Guess what lifestyle you're providing for her? Guess what she's going to imitate? Guess what she's seeing all the time? So even if you found her, you would lose it. Either you would lose her or she would adapt to you. And either way, you're going to be like, what the fuck? This sucks. So at the end of the day, your girl is a reflection of you. Mm-hmm. And you are a reflection of your girl in a lot of ways, right? You guys kind of mold together. So much so when you see these old couples, they kind of look the same, they dress the same, they have the same looking dog. It gets really cute, actually, after decades. But the point is, you see that growth as a relationship. So forget her for a second. You want a 10? Be a 10. But don't be a 10 because you want the 10. Be it because that itself is the goal and is enjoyable. You should see your bank account going up. You should see your health going up. You should see yourself becoming more and more successful in all areas of life because it all gets connected. It really does. And for the last, for 12 years, I studied religiously how to attract women, how to attract women, how to attract women. For the last 4 years, I've studied how to get success in all areas. And this ultimately is going to be the game changer that gives you real fulfillment in your life, along with relationships. Honestly, what we're covering right now is just one of 4 fucking pillars to really feel fulfilled. It's an important one. It's essential. It's not even essential. It's non-negotiable. You have to be able to do it and have it. But beyond that, you have to show that you are this person that you respect, you care about, because that's what's going to reflect in your girl. And if it doesn't, and you somehow get her through the trickery, through the charm, through the whatever the fuck, you will either lose her or you will not like what you see out of her in a few years. Mark my words. So you better fix it right now.
Okay, you can move on. All right, I want you guys. This is one of our exercises. So I want you to ask yourself, in what ways have I failed to make my desired traits in her reflect the actions I'm taking for myself, right? So like the attraction one, if you want a physically attractive girl, how can you show up for yourself to be that, right? So I want you guys to think of 2-3 traits that are really priority for you and ask yourself and write down, how can you show up for yourself, right? Jared, do you want to take like 5 minutes?
Yeah, not 10, but we take 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to have you guys write this stuff down and we will be back.